Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be going over muscles of the head and neck today. So remember when we talked about the different types of muscle tissue, there's skeletal muscle that's attached to bones and causes movements of the body. And this is voluntary because it is under our conscious control. We also have cardiac muscle that's responsible for rhythmic contractions of the heart, and it's involuntary. And we also have smooth muscle that lines walls of hollow organs. And this is also known as visceral muscle, and it is also involuntary. Skeletal muscles are attached to bones, and it moves part of the skeleton. If you look at it under a microscope, it's said to be striated because it has alternating light and dark bands, which are known as striation, and this is visible on the tissue. Skeletal muscles are voluntary, and they can be contracted or relaxed under conscious control. Remember that muscles act in pairs. As one muscle contracts, another is relaxing. We have different parts of the muscle. We have the origin, the belly, and the insertion. The origin is the attachment of a muscle tendon to the stationary bone, the one that does not move. And the insertion is the attachment of the other tendon of that muscle to the movable bone. So the classic example of this is the biceps. You'll see that the origin is right here near the humerus, and the insertion is going to be on that movable bone, which is the ulna and the radius. The belly of the muscle is that fleshy portion of the muscle in between the tendons. And that's what we think of like when we flex our bicep. This is the belly of the muscle. Also, here is my cat, Fitz. He's very distracted by the light on the wall for my door. Tendons. We talked about tendons and ligaments and how ligaments connect bone to bone. Tendons connect muscle to bone. So tendons are fibrous connective tissue that serves as attachment of muscles to bones and other parts. And then remember the term aponeurosis, which is a flat fibrous sheet of connective tissue that serves to attach muscle to bone or other tissues. It sometimes serves as fascia. The example of this is the Gallia aponeurotica, which goes from the frontal bone to the occipital bone. So we talked about how different skeletal muscles are named. They can be named based on their shape and location, based on their divisions, like the biceps has 2 divisions, the quadriceps has 4 divisions, based on their attachment, like the sternocleidomastoid muscle. It attaches at the sternum, the clavicle, and the mastoid process. It can be named based on the direction of fibers. Kind of like the obliques on the abdomen. They are at diagonal to the anatomical position or the midline of the body. They can be named based on their, if they're superficial or deep, or based on their size, like the gluteus maximus. It's named because it's so large. We'll go over this in a different video. I want to go to, let's start with the top of the head. We'll cover the head and neck today. So the top of the head is covered by a combination of 2 muscles, the frontalis, which is in the forehead region, and the occipitalis, which is the back of the head, and then a sheet of tendinous tissue over the top of the cranium known as the Gallia aponeurotica. And this entire structure is known as the occipitofrontalis. It goes from the occipital bone to the frontal bone, or the epicranius. So the epicranius, epi meaning above and around, cranius, the cranium. So let's just go in order of the way we need to learn this for the national board exam. First, we have the occipitofrontalis or the epicranius. This will draw the scalp posteriorly and anteriorly, so towards the back, towards the front. It raises the eyebrows. We have the temporalis, so think temporal region. This muscle closes the mandible. It's a muscle of mastication or chewing, and it's the strongest muscle of mastication. So as we do this, let me pull up images of this because those weren't on the slide. So the temporalis muscle, see the location is in the temporal region. We have the masseter, which closes the mandible, and it's also a muscle of mastication or chewing. It's a muscle of mastication. You can see its location here. So we had the temporalis, which is in this region, the masseter, the occipitofrontalis or the epicranius. Then we have the orbicularis oculi. So orb meaning circular, oculi referring to that eye region. So the orbicularis oculi is going to be a muscle that closes the eyelid. You can see this right here, orbicularis oculi. Next, we have the corrugator or the frowning muscle. It's going to draw the eyebrows inferiorly and medially like this. You're frowning. Oh, I'm looking for an image. Okay, let's see. And you know, when you draw like a frowny face, you'll put the little lines like this. Picture that when you think about the corrugator. Corrugator supercilii, so think eyebrow region. We have the levator palpebrae superioris. So remember, levator is that term for it raises something. So levator palpebrae superioris, it raises the superior eyelid. Get a good image of this right here. Levator palpebrae superioris. Next, we have the procerus, which draws the skin of the forehead inferiorly. It's located on the bridge of the nose. Green right here. Procerus, and then the, if I can get to my slide again. Maybe not. Okay, I need that to go back up. There we go. Sorry. Then we have the orbicularis oris, which is the puckering muscle or the kissing muscle. It's a sphincter and it closes the lips. So oris refers to the mouth, where oculi would refer to the eye, and then orb, meaning it's a circular shape. So the orbicularis oris is going to be the puckering muscle or the kissing muscle. You could do your lips like this. Right, so next we have the quadratus labii superioris. So quadratus meaning it's probably got 4 divisions, labii referring to the lips, superioris meaning upper. So this muscle or group of muscles are going to raise the wings of the nose and deepen the labial sulcus. So we got this image right here. Here. Next, we have the levator. So, it's going to raise labii superioris, so raise the upper lip, and then alicae nasi. So it's going to, referring to the nose, it's going to elevate the superior lip, the upper lip, and dilate the nostrils. Levator labii superioris. They pull up another image. Labii superioris. And then levator, and then the alicae nasi. So this is that group of muscles that's going to do that. So next we have levator labii superioris, and that elevates and extends the superior lip. Then we have the zygomaticus minor, which is going to draw the superior lip superiorly and anteriorly, so to the front and up. Let me see if it's on this image. It's not. Zygomaticus minor. It's that muscle of facial expression. And remember, zygomaticus is going to refer to the region of the zygomatic process, zygomatic bone. We have the levator anguli oris. So levator is raise, anguli is angle, oris is mouth. So it's going to raise the angle of the mouth. It's located near the canine teeth. The zygomaticus major is the laughing or smiling muscle. It's going to draw the superior lip posteriorly, so back, superiorly up, and anteriorly. So it's the laughing and smiling muscle. Haha. And then we have the buccinator or the trumpeter's muscle. This is going to compress the cheek, retract the angle of the mouth. So it's lateral to the mouth and the side of the face. You could think when somebody's playing the trumpeter, they have to compress this. You can also that's going to be the buccinator muscle or the trumpeter's muscle. Then we have the risorius, which I think is the false smile muscle, but I could be wrong. It's going to pull the mouth back. Oh, never mind. Sorry. It's going to pull the mouth back to the original position. And it is on top of the buccinator. So let me look at these images and make sure we've got these on here. Levator anguli oris, this region right here, the zygomaticus major, the buccinator right here, and then the risorius is going to be on top of that. Next, we have depressor angulus oris. So depressor meaning lowering, angulus referring to the angle of the mouth, and oris referring to the mouth. And this is also called the triangularis. It depresses the angle of the mouth. We also have the depressor labii inferioris, or the quadratus. This is going to depress or lower the inferior or bottom lip. It draws the inferior lip interiorly and slightly lateral. The mentalis wrinkles the skin over the chin and elevates and protrudes the inferior lip. And then we have the platysma, which will wrinkle the skin of the neck and chest. It depresses the mandible and inferior lip. It's a broad, flat muscle of the neck. So let's pull up images of these. First, we've got the depressor angulus oris. Right there, you can see it's in the lower, so it's going to pull that angle of the mouth. The depressor labii inferioris. I don't see that one, or the quadratus muscle. Dang it. Wait for this thing to go back up. There we go. Labii inferioris. Go. And it was also called the quadratus because it's in a shape of it's in a quadrilateral shape. We have the mentalis, which is going to be over the chin. There we go. I think I just showed that one. That's the mentalis. And the platysma. It's a good image of the platysma. So it goes from the lower jaw to the neck. It's a very broad muscle. The sternocleidomastoid muscle, we know this as embalmers because this is one of the anatomical guides for finding the common carotid artery. The SCM muscle, as it can be called, rotates and depresses the head, and it's the widest part of the neck. Then we have the digastricus, which draws the hyoid bone anteriorly and posteriorly to aid in swallowing and moving. It's a double-bellied floor of the mouth. All right, and that's going to end our little tutoring session today for the muscles of the head and neck. There's a lot of them. You've got to be continuously exposing yourself to these names, how to break them down. So thank you for joining me today. I hope this helps. Reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. We'll do some more sessions on different muscles for the different locations of the body, as well as bones. So I'll see you then.